Hi guys, it's Dr. Liz here, and I had a quick moment. I wanted to drop in, say hello, see how everyone's going. It seems like we're getting busier. No, I'm sure you guys are as well. Kind of getting the holiday crunch. For those of you that have kids, you guys must, or people that are in school, it's that last big push before they're home for a couple weeks, and I'm hearing all sorts of things like, what do we do with family that wants to come visit, or we have, our college students are out of the area, adult children that want to come home, and how do we quarantine, or what do we do? I mean, there's a lot of extra stress, fun stress, but extra stress around the holidays, and how can we fit everything in? And maybe some of you are still working remote, which is a yay. Thank you for keeping yourself safe. But as more people or more activity happens in the house, sometimes it's even harder to do what we need to do to make money and bring, bring the money into the house, as well as manage the other activities and changes in our schedule. And so I know maybe that you are trying to practice self-care, and that's really what I've been focusing on last week and this week. It's really, how can we take care of ourselves, because when we've neglected ourselves, it shows up both with ourselves personally and in our relationships with our sweethearts, our kids, our co-workers, all sorts of areas. And so I really want to have us focus on being kind to ourselves. What does that mean? As well as being able then to step in and take charge of some of the areas of our life, including our relationship, including the quality of our life for ourselves and in the relationship. And to do that, I want to make sure that, and we'll keep talking, and later this week I'll drop back in and we'll talk some more on self-care and self-starting, not waiting for others for anything in your life. But today, I want to just chat about some of the holiday stress. And I have 3 quick tips that I want to share a little bit more in depth with you guys, my little VIPs. And drop in and let's start sharing what you're doing differently, or what you've done that works in the past. But maybe you are a little like me, that now and in the past, I sort of overpromised or overcommitted, and I know that I'm hearing it with some of my clients, that they're feeling the stress of trying to manage everything and get everything done, and still make this holiday special. I see it in some of my Facebook groups where people are like, what are you guys doing to, to do, manage some of the old Christmas holidays? We can't do Christmas carols, and you know, how are we going to look at Christmas lights? And we normally bake cookies and share with our neighbors. And what are you guys doing around that? So folks are reaching out, and I love that. Let's not be silent. Let's reach out to each other here in the group. Let's reach out on appropriate social media platforms that we find supportive, and share and ask questions. We're not going to be like the Debbie Downers, but we want to say, I have this concern, I have this desire, and how can I make it happen? Anybody have some good suggestions? Okay? So let's look at, how do we take care of ourselves during the holiday seasons? How do we give it the biggest bang for our buck, so you're not finding yourself in the midst of tears, a meltdown, a fight, a misunderstanding, severed family ties, or just like so many moments I've heard of and experienced. My husband and I have both had those moments where we're just flat out exhausted. We've hit the holiday running, and when the Christmas rolls around and we finish putting together whatever toys or things, or pretending that we're Santa Claus, we are running on zero. Right? I don't want you guys to run on zero. I want you to run on, I guess, 10, 0 to 10. I want you to have a really, really nice holiday, and connect in the ways that make it most special for you. And to do that, it starts with Tip number one, what are the big ticket must-haves for you this holiday? What what resonates with you? It says, this is family. This is what I live for, dream for, to be connected. This makes my Christmas. Uh, maybe it's having the house decorated. Maybe it's certain Christmas songs or Hanukkah songs, or maybe it's when the air turns, crisp and you see snow, or I don't know. But maybe it's a certain Christmas movie. I love Miracle on 34th Street. Ah, so much fun, I love the old black and white Christmas movies. Somebody that always watches their Charlie Brown Christmas movie. Christmas movie cartoon kind of thing. That signifies the beginning of Christmas. So you know what your big ticket must-haves are. Write them down. Maybe some of them have to be modified with what's going on. That's okay. Put them down, and then reach out to your spouse, your partner, your family. What are their big ticket must-haves for the holiday? Okay? Let's put them on the list and let's discuss priorities, urgencies, because sometimes there's so many that it feels like every single day is multi-booked, and when we're double booked and that much pressure, it takes away, and we lose the gist, we lose the focus of it, and we just like have a very full calendar, right? So put them on the calendar, connect up, have a cup of tea, cup of coffee, and figure out what are we going to keep on the list. The others, those are maybe good ideas, and maybe we'll do some of them post or save them for another year. Number two, this is the big one. It's especially coming up this year in my sessions and my conversations with people. It's setting our expectations with ourselves first about what we're going to do with the holiday, and then communicating and understanding what other people's expectations are. And I'll tell you why this is really coming up is that there used to be, pre-pandemic, the typical, oh boy, we got to go to your family, they live in the valley, that's a full day, or how are we going to do Houston and Dallas over this long weekend, because everyone's going to expect us, since we have that kind of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whose house are we going to be in? And so many couples found themselves basically road warriors, going from one family gathering to the next, trying to tick the box. Or they were the the hotel, for it's a hotel, Shay Jenkins, and people would be like massing on the house, and so suddenly a home that maybe comfortably held 4 suddenly might be holding 15 for an extended period of time. And so that used to be something that people sort of jockeyed around, squabbled around, or came to grips with, and just said, okay, well, we're just going to tough it out for the 3 days. We're going to have like more than too many people in our home, and we'll just manage it in different ways. And they would get kind of creative about it. Or they'd start to set limits and say, no, we're not going to drive. Well, guess what? This year we add in this extra thing. Now we're trying to find out, are people safe? Are we safe to be around them? Should we all go down to grandma and grandpa's, or our aunts who maybe she has some kind of physical health compromise, or whatever. People are now checking folks' activities. Have you self-quarantined? Have you had a test? Even if you've had a test, I don't feel comfortable because I've never really approved of the way you interact. Good. So before we get vague with them, and before we give people false impressions or wait to the last minute, sit back with yourself, with your spouse, and let's get really clear on your expectations, what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with, all right? And if this year means that we break the routine and we break the norm and we have to have holidays remote, or we have a holiday just with ourselves, which can be so refreshing, guys. It really can be. And then we plan for a different kind of get together, um, when it's we can do it outdoors or whatever. Let's do that. It's okay. All right. So set the expectations for yourself. Check in with your spouse. I'll get really clear with that, and let the people in your life know ahead of time, very kindly, ahead of time, what you plan to do. You can still get creative, you can still stay connected. You just need to know so you don't surprise people. And number three, talking about surprises, plan for the unexpected because it's going to happen. All right. Um, there are some things that maybe we have historical experiences around. Plan on those. Know what you could do to prevent that or minimize that. For me, one of the biggest things is planning in extra time so I'm not rushing around, so I can enjoy the holiday, so people can enjoy me around the holiday. It might be having a little extra money set aside so that maybe going back in and carving the Christmas list down and say we're just going to focus on the moments and the experience, or everybody's going to create a thoughtful gift, or we're pausing on gifts, or where it's only like a necessity type of thing. So knowing what sets you off, building in extra self-care around that. Maybe you need more sleep, maybe you need more personal time. Having great boundaries in place. Not feeling obligated to say yes to one more request, or feeling pulled by social media, the commercials, other things that says, no, this is what I want, this is where we need to be, and feeling okay about setting that boundary. But getting your must-haves in place is a very, very first key piece of having a fun, relaxing, memorable holiday that allows you to enjoy it, which is great self-care, allows you to enjoy the people in your world, which is super great for connection and building relationships and bonding. And then let's just let the other pieces come together. It may be a really eclectic holiday. It may be one that you say, we lived through that and never again. And then you might end up having some really cool surprises. If those are must-haves, and I want to repeat it again and again and again. Regardless of that, you're going to have a clear plan. You're going to be able to manage the stressors better. You're going to be able to enjoy yourself and your holiday and those around you. Okay? So drop your suggestions in here. We are a group that wants to share, that needs to share. Silence doesn't help us. Okay? Keeping these things to ourselves, our successes and our concerns, don't help everyone else in our world as well. We learn from each other. At least I do. So I will be dropping in probably in shorter little bits and pieces throughout the course of this week and next week. And so if you have some questions, or you'd have some topics that you'd like me to share, I will definitely do that. I'm going to talk some more about self-care, not drifting apart from ourselves, not drifting apart from our spouses, and really about taking charge. Let's not set back. Life's too short. Ourselves and our relationships are too important. Making change starts with us. We have the ability to change and impact our world, our lives. We have the ability to impact our relationships and our marriages. Okay? Yeah? Oh. See you later, guys. Bye.